Welcome to Lorel Smith of Chicago, Illinois, nonprofit home video and artwork creations. In this particular video, we'll be looking at the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars, in which was filmed in the Viking frame 35A72 satellite imagery of the fourth planet, where they filmed 5 Egyptian pyramids upon the Martian surface next to a pentagon and a 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars. When we look at the stone face on Mars representing an embryo that looked like a white shrimp, we see that the embryonic origin of the early Adam, we're talking about a normal-headed African Adam. It is being described by the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars as an embryo. So since we're talking about the infancy of man, we must look back at earlier archaeological data in Babylon, which connects the stealth pyramids of Babylon to the stealth pyramids in Saqqara in Egypt. And when we look at the Babylonian temple walls, we see Inanna, the equivalent of an alien Ishtar. But this alien has breasts and a circular brown reproductive cake-like organ within her belly. However, this Inanna character has the Mars face as an Adam 5 at her breast area. Now when you look at the filtered image of Inanna, we are looking at the ancient Babylonian piece of stone that bears an extraterrestrial with big black oval eyes and some type of ear gear. When we look at the U1 face of Inanna, we've connected Babylon to the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars. But what's amazing is that the great alien U1 is the 339 alien. Now we're talking about great aliens with 3 fingers and 1 thumb that created or watches over our entire solar system. Now when we look at the 339 brown-skinned extraterrestrial Elohim of the Jerusalem Temple Mount, we've discovered that the female great alien image is can be connected to the first Eve. So U1 can be connected to the first Eve. Now this is where we can begin to connect the infancy of the first black Adam 5 to the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars, which appears like a white shrimp, which is the image of an embryo within the ball-shaped female earth ovum, early formation back here on Earth. Now since we're talking about the fourth planet as a red ball orbiting around the sun, when we look at the ball-shaped female earth ovum in Microbiology 101, we see a ball-shaped egg, and it's so small you need a pair of tweezers to pick it up. But here's where we reconnect a black African Adam to the entire Jerusalem Temple Mount, which sets all of the 400-year-old mistranslated King James Bible thumpers up, because now we see a great alien breastfeeding an African Adam 5. With hydrogen light. Now here's where we rediscover the great alien's first image of Eve, and what's important is that Eve fought for the entire human race in the Babylonian time frame. Okay, that means just let me put it this way: a mother will fight for her child if she sees that he's in danger. Okay, So when we go up to outer space and we see the 9 planets orbiting around 1 John 1:1, 15 billion year old sun throne that created the 5 billion year old world in the black outer regions of space. Okay, that's the biblical light that exists before the world. We are looking at ancient Egypt's winged sunness that's scripturally referred to in Malachi 4th chapter and 2nd verse. Now when we talk about the mother watching over humanity in outer space, we're looking at a great extraterrestrial U1 image of Inanna. Now when we connect the black African face on Mars, let me explain the African face on Mars. I don't know if it was through theological racism, by the powers that be, or was it just pure ignorance that the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars, 10 degrees sunrise, if you're looking at the Martian pyramids and you're standing in front of them on the 4th planet, the 10 degree sunrise shining upon the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars generates an EA shadow African face. Now, so that's what I mean by, I don't know if it was stupidity or ignorance, okay, or theological racism that never showed the EA shadow African face next to 5 Sidonian pyramids. But when I reconnect the EA shadow African face on Mars that looks like a white shrimp like fetus within the ball shape of the Martian planet, we're looking at a fetus within the ball shaped Martian planet, which represents the embryonic origin of the book of Genesis 2:7, normal-headed African Adam. Now the normal-headed African Adam appears on the Babylonian temple walls and upon the Jerusalem Temple Mount. Area view early 1930 photos, and where we see the same African Adam face upon the Temple Mount. When you look at the area view building structures, they generate an African Adam face. And I'm placing that image on the video. Now when we go back to Inanna and the first Eve breastfeeding the African Adam face, the holy hydrogenated creation, we must make 2 distinctions. That the African Adam face looks like a gorilla because it has the gorilla nose. You know, the big circles for nose, a left and right circle. Okay, that's the original African nose. Okay, so when we look at African Adam with a gorilla type nose being breastfed by a great alien that has no sex organs, but a circular brown cake-like reproductive organ within his belly. This is the U1 image of Inanna. And what makes Inanna so special as the first Eve is that Eve gave birth to the normal-headed humans on Earth. The Babylonian records, or cuneiform, dealing with the Enuma Elish records in Babylon, the home of the first pyramid civilization, in which the book of Psalms 105th chapter and 23rd verse speaks of as the 12 sons of Jacob entered into Egypt after they crossed the Euphrates River and brought the stealth pyramids of Saqqara into ancient Egypt, where we see the 4th son of Jacob of Genesis 49 chapter and 8 verse couching down in front of the Isaiah 19:19 Giza pyramids, as the biblical African couching line thinks of Giza, Gaza, Palestine, and Jerusalem. When the African pyramids was taken over by Daniel 8:12 Greek and Roman conquerors, they placed their eye upon the African pyramids upon the back of the dollar bill, in front of the sun. This exposes the Babylonian temple wall image of a 6-fingered Roswell alien that looked like a Greek and that has a Greek and Roman face. In other words, we're looking at a naked white man with bald head, with no hair. That's the 6-fingered Roswell alien of